One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. Fresh off the athletic director hire at Georgia Tech, which Turnkey Sports assisted with, today's One Question guest is Turnkey Senior Executive Director Gene DeFilippo, who's joined us a number of times. And Gene, I want to ask about, in terms of the tech process specifically, I'm curious of the constructive role that a search committee chair plays. And in Georgia Tech's case, it was Al Trujillo, who is he oversees the foundation at Georgia Tech, I believe.
Correct.
Is that role, tell me about that role. Is that a critical role in a search process? Is it more ceremonial in some cases? And you mentioned Al specifically in your post-search comments. So how essential is it for candidates to understand the role that a search committee chair specifically is playing in hiring?
Well, it's very important. Al Trujillo is a terrific person, and he has the great confidence of the president. I mean, Bud Peterson really likes and trusts Al Trujillo, and so Al was empowered to head up the committee, and he and I worked very, very closely together. Al is a great communicator. The people on the committee were kept informed of everything that was going on, and he did it by calling them individually, discussing things with them. We had meetings with the search committee where they were allowed to ask any question they want, to give every opinion that they had, to take notes. So Al really did a good job of taking this thing and moving it forward in a timely manner while still keeping everybody informed and everybody involved in the process. It doesn't often go that way. Sometimes a chair doesn't have the total backing or the total trust from a president, and at times then certain members of the search committee can take over or become more forceful or want to be more heard than other members. So when you have a strong chair, it really, really helps to move the process along, and it keeps everybody informed as to what's going on.
It struck me. I was watching Scott Strickland's press conference at Florida earlier this week, and mainstream media seems to have a good perspective on Scott, and they think he's a really media savvy athletic director. Do you think those who maybe are of the younger generation, or I guess not exactly an age thing, that would be a bit off, but those who really have a good grasp on how social media operates, how to engage the media effectively, have a big time advantage as we move forward in the industry in terms of building the right relationships?
Without question, they do, Matt. There's no question. Some of the younger ADs came up through, the computer age. They came up through the cell phone age. They truly understand social media. They've been on it when they were assistants or associates at different schools. They grew up with it. They are very savvy in the way that they communicate with not only the student body and the faculty, but the fan out there, the friend of the institution. And yes, being social media, real good at that, being able to deal with still the print media and the television and radio media, it's really, really important in this day and time because communication is the key. You need to let people understand what's going on at your university. You need to continually be preaching what you're about and what your mission is and how people can help you to support that mission. So it's really important. And there's some young ADs out there, and Scott Strickland is definitely one of them that does a heck of a job with social media.
Okay, Gene. So you guys have done Minnesota, Michigan, Bowling Green, now Georgia Tech, all in the recent past. What are you starting to see as the major trends that are starting to stick out in terms of hiring athletic directors around the nation?
Hiring coaches can get trendy in that a lot of schools are looking for an offensive coordinator who can really open it up and please the fans and recruit great receivers and running backs and quarterbacks. And the same thing goes with the hiring of ADs. There was a time there when the non-traditional AD seemed to be a more popular hire with some of the schools. And right now, it seems that the schools, that the high-level Division I schools seem to be going after sitting directors of athletics. I think part of that is the reason that these jobs have become very, very difficult, and presidents and people on boards, they don't want to hire an athletics director who has to learn on the job. They want somebody who's sat in the chair, who's dealt with the media, who has hired and fired coaches, who's done so many of those things. So if you look around the country, you'll see that ADs are not staying at their schools as long as they used to, and they continue to move around. And I think what's happening is a lot of the schools want experienced directors of athletics who have done this before and are proven commodities. And they're a lot safer hire than any associate that you could hire, because you're always taking a chance on whether an associate can be a good AD or a great AD. So I think that's the new trend, Matt.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.